Hello, and welcome to Cosmere Conundrum by Myth Mavens. I'm your host, Nemo,
And I'm Roman.
and together we are marching or wading our way through the first book of.
No, it's marching.
Okay, marching our way through the first
We're
book of
steadily
Mistborn
marching at an appropriate pace for a book that's this long.
Yes, it's of the. That's the thing. I do not know what details can be cut, so that's why I cannot give you a good criticism currently about
Yeah,
the pace.
nothing. You can cut the dialogue a bit, but for the rest, you can't really cut anything. It's just a lot of things need to be developed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make the short in chapter 7 and the explanation of how elemency work.
Yeah, but there are a few things, like some of the things are repeated quite a lot, like Kelsey smiling, which I'll talk about.
Yes, but that's a very cool book. I think we should note, Nemo and I have been talking for 10 minutes, but not recording.
Not because we forgot, just because I didn't start.
We got into rambling,
Mm-hmm.
and then we realized we weren't recording yet.
Anyway, we are today talking about chapters 7 and 8 of Mistborn, The Final Empire. So,
Yes.
we have finished part 1. What are your general thoughts on part 1 and like?
I mean, I'm absolutely loving it, which you said I would.
That is exactly why I picked this book.
Like you know that how much I love this type of world building, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I can complain about the everybody is a lord bit, but that's common fantasy trope number 1 for fantasy politics, at least. But it's a more detailed political system than I can say for many fantasy series.
That is quite true. Yes, it's you have different avenues of like work division between the Steel Ministry, between the bureaucrats.
We have a very clearly defined class system.
Yes.
We also know that it's unsurprising in this scenario with an existent nobility with this level. Of course, it's a heavy patriarchy.
Yes, except for Mistborn, which we do learn.
Mistborn because they're rare as hell.
Yeah. One thing that I have seen people criticize is that if in a world where powerful people exist, they would be in power. But like we don't know yet if the leaders of great houses are Mistborn or not, but
it's possible, but it's I don't know.
At least this should be misting.
There's probably a reason why Mistborn aren't in charge. It might genuinely just be how few there actually are. For all we know, even the nobility does not know how many there are, and maybe the Lord Ruler has some control over them, or claims he has a control over them.
That definitely can be one of the reasons.
It might also just be a thing of, yes, they're extremely powerful, but they're also vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, haze killers, so, definitely. There are plenty of them.
We should probably get into what chapter 7 is all about before we ramble for another 2 minutes.
Yes. Chapter 7 starts with Kelsier and Marsh talking about, well, their past and their present and their future, obviously. It has been 3 years since Kelsier and Marsh have met, which lines up with the timeline we are given of Kelsier being in the pits of Hatzin and then escaping, and then his world tour, basically.
Yeah, we also now know why Eden is so differential to Marsh.
Yeah. Kelsier thinks that Marsh hasn't changed much, but Toxin thinks he has, because he gave up the leadership to Eden, supposedly.
Yeah. It's Kelsier deliberately says it's the appearance. His appearance hasn't changed much.
Mm-hmm.
Not with his personality. Like his attitudes do seem different if he's abandoned the leadership of the Scar Rebellion, all 300 of them.
Yeah, Marsh throws a piece of paper or gives it to Kelsier, and it's the names of 11 people Kelsier murdered last night. And Kelsier just throws it into the hearth, burning it, saying they were
Kelsey
traitors.
does not care. If you work,
Mhm.
if you work for the great houses, you're just a traitor.
Yeah,
Which immediately puts the rest of the idea, he's not going to go light on anybody serving Final Empire. So Joe Smuck, random guard number 4, he is dead.
yeah.
I kind of knew that already from the prologue. It's pretty evident everybody in his dimension had been killed.
Yeah. Kelsier does say that Marsh tried for years to get Kelsier to do something, and now that he's doing something of worth, Marsh is chastising him basically.
I think what you can really tell here is that I think the hint starts to whatever caused the betrayal of Kelsier, it was also the cause of Marsh abandoning the Scar Rebellion.
Seems the way, yes. Also, Marsh did it after Kelsier disappeared, right? So,
Kelsey,
Mhm.
let me just check. Yeah, but it's very clear that Kelsey is basically confused as to why Marsh would abandon, which means he abandoned the Scar Rebellion after Kelsey was sent to the pits.
Yeah, Marsh then says that Kelsier doesn't really care about the cause and that he is in it for riches and revenge.
Which, unfortunately, it does give the appearance of that. Considering what we learned about Kelsey did live in relative luxury before he got captured. And they are deliberately going after the treasury. It's just Marsh thinks it's purely for themselves. Which, for most of the people involved, it is mostly for themselves.
Yeah. They then talk about Mare and how Marsh wishes that whatever she did, despite that, he would have liked for her to survive the pits and Kelsier would have died. And Kelsier says he wishes the same.
Yeah, at that one, but immediately made me go, was it Mare who betrayed them?
I mean, seems the way from the way they are talking about.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, shoot. Try not to curse.
Yeah, but like both of them care about Mare. Now, we don't know what was the relationship between Marsh and Mare, but at least we do know that both of them care about Mare in some way.
It's pretty clear that I think from what we can tell is that at one point they were very close. Even as Marsh and Kelsey had very different opinions on things.
Yeah, and I mean we do learn about later in the next chapter when Kelsey and Vin are talking about whether Marsh beat Kelsey.
Vin has a fascinating opinion on things. She cannot fathom the idea of a healthy brotherly relationship.
She cannot fathom the idea of a good man.
Yeah, now I was going to say she cannot fathom the idea of a healthy relationship, not even brotherly. She's literally only had her brother, and he was an abusive a-hole.
Then Kelsier is able to convince Marsh, as Marsh sees his sincerity, and he agrees that he will listen to their plan at the very least.
Yes, he'll. I think it's pretty clear that the reason Marsh is hesitant is not so much he doesn't want to do it. It's very much because he does not believe Kelsier is in it for real.
Yeah,
and I think it might also just be a case of even if Kelsier is in it for real, and we know Kelsier is in it for real, but Marsh doesn't.
Yeah, I mean
the others in the crew very much are not in it for real. They just want the money.
Yeah, I mean, from Marsh's perspective, Kelsier never took any interest in the Scar Rebellion prior to his return today, basically. Yeah. So that would mean that he never, like Marsh never trusted him to show any interest in the Scar Rebellion ever. Yeah. And that is basically why he's so chastising to Kelsier regarding his
it makes sense.
Change of heart, basically. Then obviously Marsh leaves and Kelsier catches Vin trying to listen in.
Kelsey catches Vin, and I love that little scene. Because I think Vin does not trust people.
Yeah.
But in these 2 chapters, there are slight hints that despite herself, she's beginning to trust Kelsey. Not just in how she thinks about Kelsey, but also in this moment where she thinks it's that Finn almost smiled back. I forgot that sentence. It's a hint that she is enjoying this a little.
Yeah.
And later in chapter 8, which we'll talk about, but when they arrive at the manor, she hands over the Mistborn cloak without a single hesitation.
Yes. Which is quite a significant growth in terms of where she was.
She doesn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Which is what I love. She doesn't realize she's beginning to trust Kelsey until she's not allowed into the same room as Lord Vernew, and then she starts to realize it, only to then get the apology anyway from Kelsey, and now she's even more confused.
Yeah, poor Vin. But yes, while Vin is in her room, Kelsey knocks, and Vin is just surprised how quiet he can be, which she thought she wasn't the only quiet one.
And because I'm listening to the audiobook, the narrator is very good at doing these various emotions, and also just how sleepy she sounds.
Yeah,
it's a very good acting job. It, unfortunately, doesn't convince Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey just says outright that he caught her. Even I think Vin knows that he caught her, because that's how Kelsey phrases it. Yeah. Then they obviously.
But Reen's voice comes back.
Yeah, I don't think I have mentioned Reen once in my summary of it, because he's just annoying.
He doesn't appear as much, but it's the sentence: "The man who wants you to trust him is the one you must fear the most." I'm like, yeah, you've just described Vin's personality there. She's just frightened of everything. She cannot trust anyone because she's afraid of them. And I'm just feeling sorry.
I mean, we will feel sorry about Vin quite a few times in these 2 chapters, given how she describes things.
I have a feeling not just these 2 chapters.
But yes.
I remind you, I think we're fully on the hero's journey here.
Yes, I mean, there was no refusal to call, but like...
No, you don't necessarily need that.
Yeah.
Even Luke Skywalker's refusing to call is fixed in about 5 seconds of his aunt and uncle are dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I after our last talk about Hero's Journey, I did go back and reread the essay. Not entirely, obviously, but parts of it. And it's fascinating how Campbell arrives at conclusions which are somewhat correct, but he phrases as if it's like the end all be all of everything.
No, you have variations upon them. You can also have a hero's journey where the hero isn't reluctant and wants to learn.
I mean, Vin wants to learn.
Isn't understanding. Yeah. From Vin, it's not coming from not wanting to learn. It's from not trusting the person she is learning from. It's still within the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so then obviously they go out into the night, and Kelsier brings over a mist cloak and hands it to Vin, and Vin simply asks if she deserves it. No, but she asks whether she would have to earn it.
Yeah, she assumed she had to earn it.
Yes.
And Kelsey puts her at ease about it, even if she's not quite sure about it still.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelsey just says that's simply who you are. You do not have to earn your Mistborn abilities and everything that comes with being Mistborn. So
yeah, and then we get this lovely thing where Kelsey's just saying, "I'll teach you that later. We don't have time for this." Kelsey wants to get through at least explaining the basics of Elemency that night, which means some things have to be left at the wayside for now, including how to mix the vials. I wonder if it's actually ever going to be explained, or if it's going to remain some mumbo jumbo.
I mean, it's quite simple, right? You'll have metal shavings and you'll mix it in alcohol. We know it's alcohol from like previous chapters, so it's metal shavings and alcohol. Just it's a wonder it doesn't really cut your throat, but we can.
I think they're very fine things.
Perhaps, yeah, that would make more sense.
And also, Nemo, considering we learn later that you can ingest some of it from having pewter utensils.
Yeah, I mean those are very fine particles.
Yes,
right?
but still, it's an indication of just how fine this stuff is. I don't think it's more. It's closer to powder than anything else.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. Yeah,
especially if you probably can't see what it is in the vials, so it's probably just like dust of the metal dust.
Yeah. When before they walk out, hears laughter and just talking coming from the kitchen, and she doesn't think she belongs there. Again,
she still does not think she belongs, even though she explicitly does.
But yes, then they go out into the mist, and the first thing that Kelsier teaches her is that mists belong to the Mistborn, that everyone else fears it, and it's only the Mistborn who revel in it. Basically, there are legends of people like Mistborn being born when the mist came to these lands, and that Lord Ruler is trying to basically falsify this memory and instead supplant it with his version, which is that he made people Mistborn.
Yeah, and I think what we also get in this whole, basically this dialogue, which is mostly a monologue, about Mistborn is he says like nearly all Mistborn are members of the great houses, and the rest are members of the lesser Lucifer house. That's why I don't think there's more than 50 at this point.
That would make sense, given they do not interact with anyone in their
there's
night.
There's not a lot of Mistborn. There can't be that many.
That would make sense. Also, the guards simply ignore them. Again.
Yeah, but also, yeah, there are. If we don't know that there's not that many great houses. So let's say there's 12 great houses and each has 3. You only get to 36. Imagine the Lord Ruler has a lot. Maybe you get the 50 that way. At maybe 10 to 20 from the lesser houses. At most 100, I think, at this point.
That would make sense, but I don't think there's even that many. Because
I don't think so. I was exaggerating a bit. I doubt there could all be great houses that collate, that pretend they have one but don't.
Yeah,
they might have had
like
one in the previous generation, but they don't have one.
Yeah, I mean it does good to it does well to pretend that you have a Mistborn. It keeps you protected from others who are trying to usurp your position, basically. Yeah. Obviously, then their lesson begins. Kelsier asks Wynn to burn a metal, and the first thing she burns is pewter, which she has apparently burnt before because of the trace particles that was found in the pewter utensils.
Which is trace metals.
Yeah, pewter rejuvenates her and her physical abilities heighten. We learn that it burns relatively quickly,
which makes sense. It has it's got a lot to do because it has to outright strengthen the entire body. I think it's also quite interesting that it's pewter of all things that does that. Yeah.
I guess we talked about last time how why pewter burns faster than the others, because obviously it has to work on so many different metabolic processes that goes on throughout your body. Then its counterpart, tin, which heightens your senses, burns one of the slowest for some reason.
Yeah, but to be fair, that is probably for the best because I think tin is one of the rarer metals.
I mean, depends on the world, really. I don't know how this world functions.
Yeah, but if you look in real life, there's a reason why there was such an intricate trade network during the Bronze Age. It's tin, because there were very few tin mines.
It came out of Spain, right? I think.
No, Cyprus, Afghanistan, and Cornwall
Cornwall, yes.
were the primary sources of tin,
Mhm.
which is also why we have artifacts from the Bronze Age Middle East in England.
Yeah.
Because there were trade connections, and we also find like historical coins everywhere, like proto coins or artifacts everywhere because of the trade links.
Mhm.
And it's fun that a rare metal burns. So I doubt it was the actual intention of that. It's just fun.
Yeah. And then obviously we learn about how in a pair of metals, one pushes, one pulls, like pewter pushes on your physical abilities while tin pulls on your sensory abilities, and similarly like zinc pulls
Yeah.
and bronze pushes on emotions and so on. Yeah. Vin then burns tin and sees the stars for the first time.
Yes, which also is very depressing considering how integral stars are to a lot of mythologies.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that in this world you can rarely see the stars, even then you need to burn a metal for it. These people are not going to have many stories about the stars, are they?
I do not think so, no.
But then we know they're going to already barely see the sun.
Yes. Everything is just covered in ash, and the cloud is just probably covered
Everything is depressing.
Mm-hmm. One thing I do remember thinking is that how tin enhances your sensory abilities. It feels very much like how autism would feel.
I mean, I wasn't gonna mention it, like being startled by loud noises is very recognizable for me.
I've also heard about textures of like clothes feeling.
Yes, I personally have autism.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely. I don't have it always, but there are certain things that I just cannot use.
Yeah.
It's not just fabrics. There are foods I literally cannot eat because the texture will not allow me to eat it. Because it just
Yeah, that's
doesn't feel right.
That's basically where my mind went when I was
I mean,
reading
the
this
problem for
part.
me is it's so normal for me, I didn't notice.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense. Yeah, fair. Yeah, and then Kelsier tells her that that's how the sky looked before the ash mounts, before the Lord Ruler. And just Lord Ruler is trying to get rid of every memory of the time before him. Also, we learn about flaring.
Yes, you can temporarily make it stronger, but it will burn quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kelsier asks Vin to just flare pewter, and she feels power for a minute, but then it is like evaporated completely.
Yeah.
And so he asks her to not do it too much because it'll obviously have a bad impact on the body.
Yeah.
Then she burns bronze.
No, she first starts to burn. I think it's iron or steel.
Yes.
And Kelsey immediately tells her, "We'll wait with that one for just a bit longer."
I mean, and then she goes on to do it again and basically impales herself with a nail.
Yes, but we first have bronze and copper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we get to bronze and copper, and bronze allows us to see who's using allomancy, and often inquisitors use bronze because they're often seekers. Previously, it also mentioned that Marsh is a seeker, I think. Once it was mentioned.
Yeah, Marsh is a seeker.
Mm-hmm. So that
he
allows
does that deliberately because he does that deliberately when he's talking to Kelsey. He checks it, presumably like to assume to just see if he's using emotional elemency or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, which I think is what causes Marsh to agree to come back.
I guess so. I mean, I don't think that was properly mentioned.
It's not
yes.
explicitly stated,
Mhm.
but it's very clear. Marsh agrees to come back once he knows that there is nothing being burnt.
Yeah, Kelsier is being sincere, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously Kelsier starts burning copper to hide himself from bronze burners. And it also makes you immune to emotional manipulation, as we learn. They also talk about why they need clubs, because
Because
Kelsier cannot be everywhere.
bronze is for seeking, copper is for hiding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, that thing of being opposites we have here as well. Mm-hmm.
But also quite funny that copper, a very common metal, is for hiding.
Yeah.
Because you could think of it as, well, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Kelsier tells Vin to always burn copper when she is using elements, especially in like populated areas like Ska populated areas, so that the seekers or the inquisitors cannot guess who's using calamancy. Yeah, and then obviously they starts moving towards the wall.
They start moving towards the wall, and Vin hasn't quite even yet. I don't think Vin has quite noticed where they even headed. Because she's so engrossed in what she's learning.
Yeah, and Vin wonders why Kelsier is telling all this and why he hasn't talked about the other two metals, the iron and steel.
Yeah, and then she does it, and promptly gets attacked by a rusty nail.
Yeah, Kelsier again saves her and then just chuckles. The amount of time Kelsier chuckles is just, oh my god.
It's quite. Kelsey is having the time of his life.
I mean, we do learn that Kelsier wasn't this experimental when he started doing Allomancy later on.
No, but I think that the pits obviously changed Kelsey. I do think he might just be seeing Vin as someone like, oh, I can, be myself. I can, be happy, be excited about something again, which he's probably not felt since his wife died.
Probably, yeah. I mean, his mind is focused on getting revenge.
Yes.
Yeah. They talk about actions and consequences, how you should always push and pull according to your weight.
Yes, and I was like, oh, laws of physics.
Magic with physics.
Laws of, I would even more so. This world knows about the laws of physics.
Yeah, we also get some of it when they are jumping over the wall. But yes, the laws of physics are indeed somewhat obeyed.
Yeah, but I do like this is a very common thing in fantasies. Like, magic has consequences.
Yeah, I do think
in this case is more, it can have consequences if you overuse it. But it's not a case of, in say Harry Potter, where there's basically no risk to using magic unless you're using dark magic.
Yes. I mean, like, that is also
you
why
can use Wingardium Leviosa all you want.
Yes. I mean, even the dark magic, if once you have mastered it,
yes,
we don't seem to see them having any consequences, just casting Abracadabra everywhere.
The only consequence that there seems to be is Horcruxes.
Yes, and those are
because it tears just all apart. But that's about it. If you use the killing curse, there's no consequence to you of using the killing curse. You feel bad, probably, unless you're Bellatrix. But there's generally, it's not like you're permanently scarred.
I mean, we do know that when making Horcrux, you have to perform a murder.
You need to use... yes, but that doesn't necessarily say you have to use the killing curse. It's just the cleanest way to kill somebody.
Perhaps. No, but
and there's a lot of
the murder... Yeah, the murder does like fracture your heart.
Soul.
Yeah, fracture
but
your
it doesn't mean anything if you don't... It doesn't really mean anything because...
there are no consequences for murder, yes.
There are no consequences for it. we learn, it shatters something, but that shattering has no effect on you.
Yeah, one thing I will say, however, in favor of Harry Potter, even though its magic system is whack, that the magic system in Harry Potter feels whimsical, and that is what it's supposed to be.
Yes, that is the intention. I mean, it's a good magic system for what it is.
Yes. Whereas this one is definitely supposed to be a bit more sciencey. So
this is more realistic. It's more towards the realism side of fantasy.
Yeah. I do think Sanderson popularized, I mean, he was not the first one to do a hard magic system, but he definitely popularized the idea of a hard magic system being...
He's one of the reasons why it's more popular today.
Yes.
It's not exclusively the reason, but his books are popular.
Yeah. I mean, even Lord of the Rings, we talk about the ring has some hard magic elements to it. You don't age, you don't, you get invincible, but then you lose your sanity. Yeah.
And depending on what kind of person you are, you fall faster.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be, like, you don't even have to wear it. Just like Horcrux, you have to be in its vicinity to get corrupted. Which definitely feels very...
yes, the only piece of magic in Harry Potter that does have concept is indeed the Horcrux.
Yeah. Which I think, I do find the concept of Horcrux fascinating.
It's a fascinating concept. I don't think it's worked out all that well, especially with how the last two books go, but it's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that Voldemort was a bit stupid when it came to making his Horcruxes.
That is an understatement. He could just have made Pebbles Horcruxes according to the law.
No, we do know that it has to be of some emotional...
He can declare he loves a pebble.
I mean... Yeah, people have rock pets. Maybe Voldemort should have had a rock pet. I don't know. But yes, moving on to Mistborn. Yeah, they talk about actions and consequences, and then Calcia teaches her about iron pulling and still pushing. And
so she uses a coin and promptly goes flying.
Yeah. It just...
Not in the good sense of flying, but instead the... like...
And then Kelsier again catches her and again smiles. Then Kelsier obviously jumps over the wall and asks Vin to do the same, and she does.
Actually, just so he doesn't smile at there.
Fair. He smiles way too often, though.
Vin was thrown violently backwards in a sudden jerking motion. Kelsier caught her and kept her from falling to the ground. Vin she rights herself, and Kelsier just asks what happened. No smiling in that section.
Fair.
He does not approvingly, which doesn't help.
Yeah. And we'll see him smiling soon afterwards.
And later we get like happy. We got the sense that Kelsier was very, very, very happy.
Yeah,
when he's with Finn teaching her, he's very happy.
Yeah, he's getting to use his powers, and that's where I think Kelsier finds happiness.
Yes, and also in the ability to teach someone.
Yeah,
because he is clearly beginning to care about Finn in a mental way. Because we learn later, like, if she wants to leave, he's not going to stop her.
He turns the carriage around in the next chapter just to take her back to Luthor.
Yeah, and Vin doesn't understand the thing. I wonder how long it will take Vin to actually start trusting Kelsier proper.
No, we do see like moments of it in the next chapter.
Acknowledge that she's trusting him properly.
That's gonna take a while.
Not just subconsciously, but actually trusting him.
That's gonna take a bit. But yes, that's where the chapter ends with the epigraph. What seems like a prophecy of some kind.
Hang on. You forgot that Kelsier just casually jumps up onto the wall.
I mean, that's what I said. Kelsier jumps onto the wall and asks Vin to do the same, and she very hesitantly does so.
And Vin's like, why me?
And then obviously
that's basically her mood.
That's has been her mood for like past 2 chapters.
But yes, I do agree with the last graph. That's a prophecy and a half.
Yeah, it talks about someone who will defend the laws and violate them.
but it is not a full prophecy.
No, doesn't seem like it now.
It's far too short to be. Also, it's 3 lines, effectively, together in one block. He shall defend their ways, yet shall violate them. He will be their savior, yet they shall call him heretic. His name shall be discord, yet they shall love him for it. Discord is capitalized.
Yeah, it's Eris again getting us a Trojan war.
I'm more and more convinced this is about the Lord Ruler. And we're fully in the past for these.
I mean, it does seem to be about him, especially that like he is the ruler. He seems to be the savior, given the ministry doctrine that he saved everyone from the deepness, and people are still hating him for him for it.
But also, I feel like it's like, I think what it is that this prophecy is the first part of each of the 3 lines is the past, and the next 3 is the future.
Seems like it, yeah.
He shall defend their ways. He will be their savior. His name shall be discord. I don't think that discord in the past would have been a negative. And then he shall violate their ways. They will call him a heretic, but they will love him for it.
Yeah, that the last paragraph, that's basically an inversion of the ideas, because
it's reverse.
Yeah, which is quite interesting.
But it's I think it's pretty obvious. Like, in the past, he was the defender of their ways. He was the savior, and they loved him for it. And now he violates their ways. Now, they call him a heretic. Well, some do. And he is discord.
But that's the thing. The last paragraph, the last line is reversed. So, was he a discord, and now people love him for it, or how? We don't know how it
very
works.
much both based. But even amongst those who doubt the Lord Ruler, there is still a sense that they will not denounce the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, I mean, people basically think he's a god. He has been there for 1,000 years. In the next chapter, Vin says that Lord Ruler has been immortal, basically, when Caesar asks her. So, obviously, there is something to be said about him being loved, not in like the traditional meaning of the word love, but like how people would love a ruthless god. Like, you worship him. You don't love him, you worship him.
I was going to say, it's not so much adore.
Yes.
Would be perhaps better. But love works better in a poetic sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
And if there's one thing prophecies love, it's poetic phrasing.
I mean, prophecies always are poetic because, well, you're not supposed to make sense of them. That's why.
Yeah.
Always in any mythological tale, you have a prophecy that, I mean, in hindsight is always clear. But when you are told the prophecy, you end up fulfilling it, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's go to chapter 8 before we spend more time talking about the exact same subject.
But yes, then chapter 8. Yeah, chapter 8 begins with Vin flying up into the air.
Yes. And immediately like, what now?
Yeah, and Kelsier again is standing on top of the wall. And Vin realizes she's hovering above it. Kelsier asks her to balance herself because he equates it to having learned how to balance while walking. So
you're always balancing yourself.
So similarly, you'll be able to balance yourself. Your body will autocorrect and adjust itself while you're hanging in the air. So
he also just says it's better if you have a tripod of anchors, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean I have a mic here that's on the tripod, so it makes sense. Yeah. But yes, he then basically mocks Vin by saying, "I hope you're not afraid of heights." That's quite a disadvantage for a Mistborn.
To be fair, I think it's not so much mocking as it's just making a point.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know this before. For all he knew, she was afraid of heights.
Mm-hmm.
But the next sentence from Vin is just marvelous, and the way in the audiobook it's read out, because the narrator outright does talk through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
But I'm also not accustomed to hanging in the air 100 feet above the bloody ground. Which is roughly how the narrator says it, which is exactly how I would say it.
Yeah. And Kelsier again, this time definitely Kelsier smiles. Because I remember reading it yesterday.
But that is very funny.
And you know what?
If you're not the person hanging in the air, that is a very funny thing to say.
Yeah, you know what this reminded me of? I was recently rereading Pride and Prejudice. I don't know if you've read it.
No, because I'm Dutch and we don't read those books in our lessons.
Fair. So I was rereading it, and one of the only complaints Mr. Darcy, who's like one of the protagonists, has about one of the other side characters, who's supposed to be flawless, is that she smiles too much. And that's basically what I thought in this moment. Which, it's fine. It's just mentioned way too often for me to ignore it.
It's very deliberate.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there is no other way. It's a deliberate way. It's also outright to show. It's also to show just how odd Kelsier is.
Yeah.
But also, I fully believe at one point we're just going to get a chapter where Kelsier doesn't smile at all.
Likely, yeah. Given how
and it's going to be a bad chapter for everyone involved.
I mean, he's already ruthless. How bad can he get?
I'm about ready to get to pull a whiteboard out and put in the odds of people dying.
I mean,
because the one thing I think will get Kelsier to stop smiling is the death of someone he cares about, which admittedly isn't a lot of people.
Who do you think would die?
So we have effectively 3 people he really cares about right now, and that's stretching it. It's Marsh, Doxson, and Vin. Yeah. Vin's not dying; she's the protagonist of the story. Marsh, I think, is too essential for later, so I'm putting death flags on Doxson.
I mean, he does seem like he is the Mr. Watson to Kelsier's Holmes. So
he's also technically superfluous in the plot. In the plot to overthrow the Empire. He is useful for all the things, but the role Kelsier had in mind for him is not something he can do.
Yeah. Like he's not a Mistborn. He's not an Elementor. Yeah.
He's not an Elementor. He cannot infiltrate ability. So I'm just hazarding a guess and saying Doxson probably dies, and it's the only way you can get a chapter without Kelsier smiling.
That would
unless Marge dies, and I'm completely wrong about this.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense that someone dying at least will send Kelsier over the edge. But
and then Vin has to bring him back, something like that.
Yeah, it's that second episode of Avatar where Aang basically goes into kill mode, and Katara has to bring him back.
Yes, I think it's technically the third.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's the third episode.
The first 2 episodes are in the South Pole. The third episode is the Southern Air Temple.
Yes, that's the third episode. You're correct.
You forgot you're talking to me.
See, that's the thing. I always view the first 2 episodes as a chunk
because they always air together.
Yes,
and often, and even I think watch them, combines it to a 40-minute episode.
I think when I watched it, it was on Netflix, and Netflix put those 2 episodes together in one block. So
but officially, they were produced as 2 episodes because it's 20 minutes. Roughly.
Yeah, it's a good show.
But let's talk about the Final Empire.
Yeah,
because we could ramble about Avatar a lot.
That is fair. We can obviously. I also have thoughts about Avatar, but as everything.
Gosh.
Then obviously, Kelsier helps her by pulling her, and they are on the wall.
And promptly says, "We're going over."
Unless you want to talk to the guard,
and how does
you want to use?
How does he tell Vin? How does he tell Vin we're going over the other side? He says, "We're going back down," and tosses the ingot over the other side of the wall.
Yeah, that is quite funny. That
I also just realized something. It's a tall city wall.
feels like it, yes. I mean, 30 foot
100
would
feet
be...
is about 30 meters.
Wait,
30 meters is a she's hanging above the air 100 feet above the ground.
Oh dear God. Yeah.
That's about 30 meters. That's a tall wall.
Like, if it had been the other side, I would have given it a pass because moats are usually like quite deep. But it's on the other side, and so I don't... 100 feet is quite high.
Like, it's not as high as fantasy walls can get.
I mean, it's not the wall from A Song of Ice and Fire that is 700 feet tall.
No, but to be fair, that's the most fantasy of fantasy walls ever made in fantasy. I'd actually have to check something. I thought we had a rough height estimate for the walls of Winterfell.
I think it's 700 feet. I do remember somewhere reading.
Oh, Winterfell, not the wall itself.
Oh.
The outer wall of Winterfell is 80 feet high. The inner wall is 100 feet high. So these walls are as high as the walls of Winterfell. And they encircle an entire city. That's enormous.
That is quite enormous, yes. Then, obviously, Kelsier tells her to jump, unless she wants to talk to the guard why she wants to use the stairs.
And then it's just quite funny how when she does do it, she misses.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense. It's her first time.
It's a first try, and Kelsier later outright says, like, she did more than I did. I had to be pushed.
Yeah. Then, obviously...
But also, I like that Kelsier doesn't... Like, Kelsier said, like, that Kelsier got pushed. He doesn't do it to Vin, because he trusts Vin to do it herself, but also, that would destroy trust.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsier needed to learn it fast.
Yeah, but what I do love is that when Vin does it, she promptly misses and then comes back up right in the face of the astonished soldiers.
Yeah.
We must all be thinking, Mistborn.
Yeah, I like it's fascinating to think about a random character and what they are thinking in a moment when all the crazy things are happening around them. Like the guard just seeing Mistborns jumping over the walls while they are just standing there with their spears in hand. Yeah, and then obviously they talk about why Allomancers and Mistborns should not keep metal on their body, and how if the metal is even slightly inside your body, it cannot be pulled, which is interesting.
Yes, it's a neat way of making sure that Mistborn aren't always vulnerable. It doesn't make them overpowered. It's just a thing of. It does neatly avoid the question of, well, why don't they just pull on the body?
Yeah,
because we all have iron in our blood.
Yeah, it's an interesting workaround.
Also, it would be very easy to defeat the Inquisitors.
Yeah, I mean that's mentioned right here. That's exactly why the Inquisitors can walk around with the glass spikes in their eyes. Then obviously they start going, and Vin asks if they are going outside the city, and wonders if Kelsier has a destination in mind.
Yes, well, also to point out, this is the second time we got a mention of a lot of the ash in the city being deposited in the river channel. Nearly identical to the first introduction to that. But now from Vin's perspective, I have a feeling it's going to come back in some form in this story.
Do you think the river channel is going to get blocked by ash at some point?
Either it's going to be blocked, or if they have to escape. Knowing full well that the river channel wouldn't be checked.
Yeah.
Why would it be?
Yeah, I mean, Vin mentions how she and Reen basically have moved from city to city through these canals and through the boatmen.
And it's very noticeable that it's the second time a nearly identical phrase of description appears.
Yeah, and that's also why Vin wonders how the world is not consumed in ash, because they are being deposited in the river, and the river breaks them somehow.
Yeah, but it probably brings them to a large body of water.
That's quite likely, yes. Then obviously they start walking outside, and Vin just wonders about her past, how Reen and she always kept running from something from city to city, and they never stayed in a city more than a year.
Yes. Because Reen was more paranoid than Kelsier can be.
I mean, Vin is way more paranoid than Kelsier, and Reen probably was way more paranoid than Vin,
yes.
given his teachings.
Yeah. And then we get to what so far has been the most fantasy element of them all.
Yeah.
The mist wraith.
The mist wraith. I do quite like the description of a mist wraith.
It is outright a horror creature.
Yes, it's basically body horror at this point, given how it's described.
Kelsey is... I get what Kelsey's saying. How, they are scavengers. Yes. That does not mean it's not a monster straight out of horror.
It reminds me of some film that I have watched. I don't remember what film exactly, though.
I don't know. I don't watch horror.
Yeah, I don't watch horror either. I think it was just playing somewhere, and I was there.
Yeah, I'll stay with my delightful group of random assortment of Greek fantasy monsters, rather than this monstrosity.
We do learn that there are animals. That is a thing that we learn. We have horses.
Great, but effectively, this is a chimera, but creepier.
Yes. A very creepy chimera. Huh. Yeah, interesting.
It is a mix of multiple animals. That is a chimera.
It also has way too many arms and way too many legs and heads. Yeah. I'll have to look up how it looks because it's fascinating.
I assume somebody will have made an image of this exact description at some point. I am not looking it up.
Do not. It seems
because
straight out of...
One of the parts is, despite the translucent skin, she could make out a horse head sitting up beside that of a deer. I don't like translucent skin. I don't like this description. It's a miracle I haven't had a nightmare yet.
Yeah. And then Vin wonders how no one does anything about it. And they're like... Kelsey is like, they have their own uses of it, at least the great houses, and they do not deem it dangerous enough to do something about it.
No, because it's the perfect way to keep the Scar in line.
To be fair, Scar have not seen Mist Wraith, and we don't really get where Mist Wraith go during the day. So that's...
No, but they are creepy.
Yeah, maybe some caves.
And it only takes... And all you need to do is know they are out there and just spread the stories. And
yeah, I mean, if you see a creature with human bones, the first thing I will always wonder if it ate the human, not that it just scavenged it from somewhere. So
yeah. Like, what also isn't helping is the fact that one, Kelsey mentioned that this one is a young one.
Yeah, 10 feet, 20 feet, and it's young.
Even more so, the older ones are intelligent.
Yeah, that's
the young ones are still instinctual. The older ones are intelligent.
We do learn that they are not dangerous, but I would not go near them ever.
In this instance, I'm not even quite sure if I should trust Kelsey.
I mean, he's walking nonchalantly. Why would you not trust him?
I trust him, but I don't like this creature.
See, Kelsey is the kind of person who will kill anything that moves that is dangerous. Why would he let a mistress?
No, he's never seen them. For all we know, he's never seen them be dangerous. Doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
Fair. Yeah, Kelsey just says...
You know the guy is not really all there anymore.
Yeah, he does say to Vin in the one of the I think previous chapter when Vin mentions you're insane, and Kelsey is like, if you'll have learned anything from the people around me, is that I am insane. It's very much... Also, it gives very much Percy Jackson's I am impertinent vibes.
And then we get this lovely thing where we get that Finn only just realizes the Imperial High Road. Oh, we've circled the city. Which how long have they been walking? Because we do know this city is big.
Yeah, that's actually
At
No.
times, there is a little bit of. I think what Vin just didn't notice was they were already close, but
Perhaps.
they deliberately. They've been walking towards the walls. She did not notice they were walking towards probably a gate where the high road is.
Quite likely, yes.
Which would explain the time discrepancy, because we learned that it's nearing midnight. So, what I do like is like this is just the Imperial High Road, no capitalization. So it's technically not named the Imperial High Road. No, it's just an Imperial High Road. She just called it the.
Yeah, I mean, it's one
not a
of the
named
Imperial
road.
High Roads that it's like how in different countries you have national highways or
Yeah,
like
you have
state
the M1,
highways.
the M-
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, not sure if that's more or less original than one of the roads in Song of Ice and Fire being called the King's Road.
I mean, High Road and King's Road are usually names given to roads.
It's just quite funny.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah, you could definitely have named it something better.
You could have did well. What is very interesting, we don't get a direction of where this road is going effectively.
Yes, we do not get a direction. In fact, we don't even know what direction Felice is in.
No, we do. We have the map.
We do have a map. I didn't check it though.
Southeast.
Southeast.
I think.
Okay, that's fine.
No, we don't. Sorry, I don't. Philly. There's one of the Ashmans called Felist.
It fell towards the east. That's why it's Felist.
Fall East.
Fall East, yes.
Yeah, no, that we don't know where it is. Really annoying to have an Ashmount that is so close pronunciation to a city name, but completely different spelling.
Yeah. Do you think we are ever going to visit the Ashmounts?
This is one of the issues with listening to the audiobook.
Yeah. Do you think we are ever going to visit an Ashmount?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have a question. I don't question that.
Yeah.
It just depends, will that be in this book?
Whether it will be this book or what would be the purpose of visiting an Ashmount?
There's probably some reason they would have to go there at some point.
Yeah.
As long as it's not for destroying a ring.
Yeah.
Or, investigating one of Hephaestus's forges.
That as well. As long as they don't blow it up, it's fine.
Yeah, fine. We don't need to. This world is already a permanent Pompeii anyway.
As long as at least the lava isn't flowing. Come on.
Yes. There's a lot of ash.
There's a lot of ash.
Anyway,
yeah. So they meet up with Sazed, who has a carriage with him, and they wish to go towards Felice. We learn that Sazed is a terraceman, who are usually employed as stewards to great houses and like other nobilities.
Yes, and it immediately made me go, terraceman.
We do know from the epigraphs about terracemen. That's where
we do know about them, and
the author was.
Oh, it's an interesting one. It just reinforces to me that the epigraphs are about the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, it seems even more convenient. So Vin obviously figures out that he's terraceman and mentions the same, and Caesar said, "Have you known many of my people?" And Vin says none. And that also comes back later on when Vin says that aren't terracemen supposed to be all stern and not smile, and again Caesar says, "I was under the impression you had not known many terracemen," which is quite cheeky.
But what I also just do like is we do get an indication of how far away Felice is from. It's about
an hour,
a little over an hour
by carriage,
which is not that far but it is clearly an outer city.
It's It's an outer settlement, and we do learn that many like nobility prefer to live outside Lutheril because it's cleaner.
Wonder why.
It's easier to do things that are outside the ministry mandate, and obviously just for luxury, I guess.
Yeah.
So
but first we get this lovely section of Vin is paranoid.
Yeah, and Kelsier just looks at her and wonders if she tries to be small and unnoticeable in every situation, and that she's always tense.
It's not that difficult, considering she's already described as being very short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, short and scrawny.
Mm-hmm.
We get this description. Vin didn't sit, she crouched. She didn't walk, she prowled. Even when she was sitting in open, she seemed to be trying to hide, which is an interesting description.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, she has learned this over the years just from living with the thieving crews and trying to stay away from the general like attention of people who would harm her in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite interesting. Then obviously Kelsier wonders that she's a brave one though, because he had to be pushed to like learn to like jump with the help of Allomancy.
Yeah, which is yeah.
Then
good thing he didn't try to have a Vin.
I mean, she would have trusted him even less, which makes sense given what they talk about next, which is about the relationship between Kelsier and Marsh, and if Marsh beat him, if Kelsier stopped him.
And Vin cannot understand that it's what Ring did, not normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Kelsier again pities her. We do get to learn about Kelsier's heritage, yeah.
Kelsier's background.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, this explains quite a bit of why Marsh and Kelsier had a bit of a leg up.
Yeah.
They had a proper education.
They had a proper education. We learned that Kelsier dressing up as nobility is not a new thing. He has been doing so for like most of his life because he was considered to be an illegitimate son of a noble until the noble.
Yeah, he was considered. He was still considered noble.
Yeah.
Until he was scuffed his mum, Oscar.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder what happened to their mother. Something not good, obviously.
Hat meet axe, or hat meet rope.
That seems to be the case. We then obviously talk about the betrayal that Kelsier suffered, and Kelsier just stops the talk. He doesn't want to talk about it, which again tells me that Mare might have had something to do with it, given he.
Yes, but I also just love what Kelsier had not quite realized how much Vin had overheard over the last little bit.
I mean, this is something I think. This is something I think Vin heard from her thieving buddies, because they talked about him getting betrayed.
Yes, but and he's like,
she's an attentive one. Yeah, basically.
Yes, she is very attentive. She remembers a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. And then we get the scene of just Kelsier letting Vin go, giving her the 3,000 boxings that she earned, basically. And they also turn the carriage around. Vin obviously sits in silence, doesn't know why or he's doing so. Like why she's even participating in this ridiculous plan. And then obviously she talks about how his plan is crazy and how he cannot defeat the final empire. But then Kelsier is able to convince her somewhat. Kelsier says that you trusted me enough to jump off a wall, which is
Yes, it's one. She is outright confronted with the fact that she doesn't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
She does not like that, and she does not like the. She really doesn't like the word trust. This is outright stated.
Yeah, and then
Good job, Ring. You screwed up your sister.
Yeah, and then Vin just says, "I'll stay," but not because I want to stay, or not because I trust you, but because I want to see what happens.
Yeah, she's too curious for her own good.
Also, she wants to learn about allomancy, and she hasn't really perfected it yet. So obviously,
I do think she does have an interest in bettering her life, and even with those 3,000 boxing, she's still a 16-year-old girl in a post-apocalyptic medieval society.
They then reach Felice, and Vin clocks that Kelsier doesn't like how the nobility lives, and they talk about the trees being green, which Vin thinks is an absurd idea.
Impossibility.
This is so funny.
First time she's going into a nobleman's greenhouse is going to shock the stuffing out of her.
Yeah, I don't think they're greenhouses here, though. I mean, their plants are also
not greenhouses, but we know Lord Venture had green plants.
Did he have green plants, or did he have like colorful plants that are not necessarily brown?
Well, they're gonna have green on them.
Perhaps, yeah. That is one of the colors. So
there is something called a leaf.
I mean,
and the stems of flowers.
Yes, those but it doesn't have to be. Like, we know the trees outside are brown, even their leaves are brown. So it doesn't have to.
But those plants were kept indoors.
Perhaps, yeah. And then obviously they go in. Before they go in, Kelsier tells her about that she should not sleep with any metal inside her body because that will poison her. Which, yes, this magic system is basically heavy metal poisoning. So
yeah, it absolutely is. It's another example of consequences.
Then they arrive at the Manor Renault, which we learn that Kelsier bought. We meet Lord Renault, and Vin immediately clocks that whoever this impersonator is, they know what they're doing. They have this aura of nobility around them. Go ahead.
But unfortunately, I cannot help think of Lord Renault as being your stereotypical early to mid 20th century politician with a tiny mustache. Luckily, it's sparse and not narrow. A sparse grey mustache.
Oh dear. I mean,
I know what that looks like. It's not associated with 1930s Germany, but I know exactly what type of mustache that is.
Then they talk about how the manor is looking better and better, and how the people here seem to like that they are working the scar. That is what Vin clocks. They talk about how they'll have dinner. They like to have dinner, and Vin wonders. She used to go sleep without having meal, and now Kelsier is ordering a meal in the middle of the night.
It's barely midnight, so it's presumably 1 a.m.
Yes, fair.
People who say it's barely midnight are not talking about it's a few minutes after midnight.
No, yeah. I mean, it did take like an hour from Lutherdale to here, so
yes, and it was already evening when they left,
which is
not early enough.
Again, it's interesting that their meeting was at noon. The meeting lasted.
No, it wasn't. It was in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay, so that would
It was in the afternoon. It clearly lasted. You can't really depict on a few pages how much time really progressed. Yeah. It presumably took a few hours.
Perhaps, yeah.
And we don't quite know how early it gets dark, and we don't know how long they were walking. But you can't really put it in writing.
Yeah.
Unless you start putting in, they walked in silence for 20 minutes before Kelsier explained the next bit of.
No. Obviously, I don't want everything to be mentioned, but like some indication of time passes would be good. We do get evening and midnight, so I can work with that. Then obviously Vin wonders how everything is clean again.
Yes.
That's
Because
such
she also says, like, he's been inside the houses of Norman, presumably to steal things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a culture shock to her that everything is clean and that she even fears putting her foot down because it was in ash outside, which is interesting. Then again, she wonders that it has been built on the like the Scar are doing the work. Yeah. So she wonders if she should obey it. But then she looks at the Scar and they're smiling, they're happy, laughing, doing their work.
Yes, I think it's also a thing of Kelsey is pragmatic enough to do this. He's just not willing to work with the actual nobility.
Yes.
He's pragmatic enough to know that they need a facade.
Then obviously Renu and Kelsier go off to talk about their own, and Vin again wonders about trust.
Yes.
She wonders what could they be talking about and why Kelsier never taught her the two metals. I think that was earlier. But yes. Then Renu's servants.
They did get called it. He deliberately told Vin he would tell her in, for Felice. He kind of got pulled into a meeting already, and it's a little late.
Yeah. I mean, I think he will tell her eventually. We will learn what to do.
Yes.
Renu's servant bring out food. She starts munching upon it.
Yeah, and we got this lovely little thing of, it's very clear that Caesar has quite a sense of humor.
Yeah, he is standing behind her, and Vin is like, "Don't stand behind me." So he stands beside.
And then she notices the smile on his face as he moves towards a chair.
Yeah, and then we get the line of, "I've never known a tradesman with a human sense of humor before." And Sejet says, "I was under this impression." She says dryly. Yeah.
Yes, but she does say it dryly, so it is immediately in jest.
Yeah. When Sejet mentions, "I was under the impression that you hadn't known any tradesman at all, Mistress Vin," which is again, we see that. At least we learn later that Caesar is technically not a servant, not a steward, but
he's completely there of his own free will, but his people are fully ingrained with the idea of being servants.
Yeah, it's kind of like your Dobby situation.
Yeah, it's odd.
It's odd. They have been like taught to be respectful at the very least, if not like subservient.
Yes.
Then Vin wonders how much Caesar knows, and Caesar just outright says everything.
Yes. He's rather candid.
Yeah. And then they talk about like belief. What does Vin believe about the Final Empire, about Lord Ruler, about everything else? And then Caesar proposes to teach her something if she stops believing in Lord Ruler. Which is, again, we'll probably get our first view at different like teachings and religions.
Yes,
perhaps
different philosophies. And then we get the lovely scene of Vin goes through another whirlwind of emotions. Because Renu and Kelsey appear, and they basically, right, so the original plan is dead in the water. And like, yeah, and Kelsey just says, well, Vin should just be the heir. And I like how Kelsey is very nonchalant about it, because Kelsey, despite having grown up in the life of nobility, does not understand the nobility that well. But this Renu imposter does.
Yeah.
And he'll very simple. Oh, a girl can inherit. But it's an issue because there are, men.
It's called male primogeniture, right? Where your first male
effectively.
heir
it's male primogeniture. It's the primary male heir inherits all.
Yes.
Effectively. And it's very clear that they can. I don't think it's primogeniture in that way, because it's not if a lord wants to appoint an heir from a different branch of the family, they're permitted to do that.
Yes.
It's just always this thing of you need to do it with a boy first, is the general assumption. It's legal to appoint a girl, but it will cause issues because people will investigate that.
Yes, and that is basically what we learn.
And also the whole thing of, well, if she's the unmarried heir to a likely possible future great house, yeah, that won't fly because she will be the most eligible hand in all of the empire.
Yeah, and she will be like under scrutiny from everyone.
Yeah, she will not be able to spy that way because everyone will be keeping an eye on her.
Yeah.
She's talking to Lord so-and-so. Oh, now she's talking to Lord so-and-so. What's Lord Renew gonna do?
Yeah. Then Vin wonders what she is good for if she cannot do the one thing that Kelsey asked her.
Completely not realizing that if this plan had failed and the infiltration plan had to be figured out a different way, Kelsey would have found her another thing to do, even if it was only shadowing Kelsey.
Yeah.
Finn has the perfect cover together with Kelsey, and that's Mistborn. Because people don't check Mistborn.
Yes. Then obviously Renu proposes another way that she doesn't have to be an heir. She can just be like a distant cousin that he has brought over.
A favorite cousin.
He has brought over to show her the ways of like big city, basically.
Yes, and also the lovely thing of Kelsey adding on to like that will help explain why she's a little less refined.
No offense. And then she wonders, why would she take offense to that?
Even more so, it's while she's sneaking food away.
We again doing the same. We saw that earlier in the previous chapter.
Yeah, which is wonderful. It's just wonderful. It's characterization in a nutshell. She's just casually putting away some food.
Yeah. Then obviously Kelsier borrows Sazed and asks him to prepare Vin for mingling with the high society, basically.
Yeah, but also we get this thing where you can really tell Terracemen are fully indoctrinated. A Terraceman without a master is like a soldier with no weapon.
Unless you are unless you're a bender. Sorry.
Out.
Anyway. Yeah, and then they go off to each other's they go off to sleep in their respective guest chambers.
Yeah, and Finn left food behind.
Yeah, Kelsey obviously apologizes to Vin for not taking her into the meeting with Lord Renew, and he talks about it being of a personal nature.
Yeah, every hint we get about how the imposter works, which is very little. It's not pretty. I'm going to bet it's not pretty.
Yeah. I mean, Kelsey basically killed the original Lord Renew, and was certain enough that this new imposter could not just look like him, but replicate his mannerisms and everything. Yeah, be him. Which, from Vin's perspective, he's doing a very good job.
Okay. Once we finish this chapter, I have a crackpot theory.
Go ahead.
No, we'll finish this chapter. We're nearly done with this chapter, and then we do it.
Yeah, so, and then Kelsey goes off, and Sazed and Vin go off to their room. And Vin asks Sazed if Kelsey is a good man, and Sazed just said he is a very good man, the best he has ever known. Which gives some comfort to Vin as she goes off to sleep. And that's where we end this part.
Yes, and there is no
epigraph. Yeah.
Okay. Crackpot theory time.
Go ahead.
The Lord Ruler is supposedly immortal.
Mortal?
We don't know how he's immortal.
Yeah, he's supposedly immortal. That's what we think as well. Yeah.
I have this half-formed idea that it's not so much immortality, it's transfer.
Transfer of what? Like age?
That somehow who he is transferred into another body.
So he keeps changing bodies.
Switching hosts. And similar to how this Lord Renew knows everything this Lord Renew did, seemingly. He is effectively Lord Renew, but he cannot go near an Inquisitor, which means Elemency is involved.
That would make sense.
And from everything we've seen of this magic system, immortality does seem out of place.
Yeah.
Outright immortality.
Yeah, we do have like a thing of like actions and consequences. And immortality is something that comes with either a very huge consequence or no consequence from what we know of.
Yeah, I'm wondering if at the start, because of the epigraph, the Lord Ruler was indeed a good person, but every time he jumps hose, it corrupts him.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
That's why I said it's a crackpot theory.
That is a very interesting theory. Also, would explain like some of the things that, at least in the epigraphs that we see from, if they are being written by Lord Ruler, how he wishes to do good, but there are prophecies of him becoming bad, which, if your theory is correct, that's what happens.
Yes.
So yeah,
exactly. This is why
interesting.
I'm not sure if this is all actually the case, but I thought it was interesting as a theory.
Yeah, I do agree. It's
and as I said, it's a completely crackpot theory.
I don't think
they're so hesitant. He's so hesitant about explaining to us how the imposter works, and everyone is rather disgusted by it seems.
I mean, Breeze just mentions that how he is like that's wild. It is that Kelsier was willing to do this. Tells Eden that he doesn't want to know, how he was horrified with a murder, and this, if he learns what this imposter is, he would be basically like hyperventilating everywhere. But yes, I don't think yours is a crackpot theory, because from what we have learned about the things in this world, like Mistwraiths, they take on bodies. They do not have intelligence, obviously, but they take on bodies. So
it's quite possible that the ability that Lord Renew uses, because I'm just going to call him Lord Renew, is similar to the Mistwraith ability.
Yeah, that would make sense. Although, like,
I still consider my Lord Ruler idea a crackpot theory.
Yeah, maybe. But like Mistwraiths, we know are very like translucent and stuff. So maybe like something else, or maybe just
something similar. I mean, if every metal has two sides, like there's two metals for everything.
There would be two sides to every like ability and every.
Heck, for all we know, the Lord Ruler knows of the 11th metal, and there is actually also a 12th.
That would make sense. That would cancel out the 11th.
That would also it makes if the system works that every metal has another metal attached to it. An 11th metal is confusing.
Yes. I mean, we do have like this theme of opposites, so makes sense.
It wouldn't work obviously with. The only thing I can think of is it's the two. We still have the two metals we don't have explained yet.
I mean, one of them is atium, from what we know. It's just that we don't know what it does.
The one is atium, and the other would probably be in, alloy.
I mean,
it would probably also be a fantasy thing.
Yeah.
Unless atium is just another word for gold.
Have you heard the word gold in this book?
I'm going to look up the word gold. I am not looking at details. I can mention there are mentions of gold in the book.
Okay.
But it might also be a golden appearance because it just takes the 4 letters. So
yeah. I mean, fair. Golden is a adjective. But yes, I do think.
I mean, silver exists because she gave a description that something means silvery.
Yeah. Anyway, we have finished part 1. And you have just proposed very interesting theory.
A wild theory. A wild theory. You can say that.
I don't think it's wild, but maybe. Yeah, so thoughts on the first
Oh, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I am loving this. Absolutely loving this.
Yeah, I do think
can't wait to get
quite well
the rest
written.
of the story.
The world is definitely quite well developed. I have certain qualms with it, but they're not big enough for me to stop reading.
No, and I think you said somewhere that you felt this was written by more for neurodivergence than not. Almost.
Perhaps I'm not quite that is one of the things that I have heard in the wild, that these books, given how descriptive they are, how each thing is well explained, that they are more suitable with someone who has like neurodivergency. I don't know. I am not diagnosed, so I
wouldn't know either because I'm
conjecture about it.
I don't recognize that too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize it often, but I can tell you, I am adoring how descriptive things are.
Yeah, I don't mind the descriptions. So every story for me, I categorize into 4 parts. Every story has characters, it has the plot, it has the world or the setting, and then it has a prose. It's the prose that I have the most qualm with in this book. I am not a fan of how very simplistic it is. Not like it doesn't have to be like as flowery as like Lord of the Rings, but
I think that's the issue. You wanted to be more flowery because it's written for a more modern audience.
I think so, yes. I mean, to be fair,
and Tolkien is not written as much for a modern audience.
No, but think about A Song of Ice and Fire. That is also written for modern audience. It has it is quite simple when compared to something like Lord of the Rings, the prose, but it's still evocative. It's still beautiful. There are metaphors everywhere.
Yes, but that isn't how you always need to write.
No, I don't think it's always how. Yeah, it's a very personal preference thing. So that's what I'm saying.
Because in my opinion, A Song of Ice and Fire books are too long for what's happening because nothing is happening.
I would disagree, but again, that's personal preference. Yeah, I don't think it's bad enough for me to stop reading. I enjoy it quite much.
2 books, and we passed like 3 months in story.
Fair.
That might also be that I have an issue with the jump up in the amount of perspectives. There are too many perspectives to follow now.
I can see that.
I like that we're following Cersei. We did not need to follow Cersei.
Who else would you follow in King's Landing then? There's no one.
Someone else that is not Cersei. I can't stand her insanity.
Fair, but like it's written so well that you see where she's coming from, and you still don't agree with her.
It doesn't mean I have to like it. I like that there's a fly flying around your face.
Yeah, for some reason. Ow.
It's been there the entire episode, by the way.
I did get rid of it, try to get rid of it, but it didn't. It's fine. Yeah.
I have nothing more to say, really.
Yeah, I mean...
I'll probably have some more crackpot theories by next week.
Yeah, we will move on to part 2, next 2 chapters, 9, 10, next time.
Yes.
Well, then, see you there in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.